One of the first questions buyers are asking right now in South Florida has nothing to do with the kitchen, the layout, or even the price. It's insurance. And for a lot of sellers, that comes as a surprise because traditionally, buyers would focus on the home itself first. They'd walk in, look at the space, see how it feels, and then worry about the details later. But that order has changed. Now, before buyers even get too far in the process, they are already thinking about what it's actually going to cost for them to live there. And insurance has become a big part of that conversation. I had a buyer recently who found a home they really liked. Location worked, layout worked, price within range, everything seemed aligned. But before moving forward, they asked for an insurance estimate. And when they got the number, it was higher than expected. Nothing about the home changed, but the way they felt about the home changed. And that's something we're seeing more often now. Buyers are not just evaluating the property, they're evaluating the full cost of ownership. And that includes things like insurance, property taxes, HOA if there is one, but insurance specifically has become one of the biggest variables because in South Florida, insurance has been a major topic over the past few years. Rates have gone up, requirements have changed, and buyers are much more aware of it now. So instead of waiting until later in the process, they're bringing it up early, sometimes even before making an offer. And the questions they're asking are very specific. They want to know how old the roof is. They want to know if the property's in a flood zone. Does it have impact windows or hurricane protection features? Because all of those things directly affect what they're going to pay. I had another situation where two homes were very similar. Same general area, similar size, similar price point. But one had a newer roof and impact windows. The other had an older roof. And even though both homes were appealing, the buyers leaned heavily towards the one with the newer roof. Not because it looked better, but because it reduced uncertainty. And that's really what it comes down to, uncertainty. When buyers don't know what their insurance is going to look like, they hesitate, they slow down, or they start negotiating more aggressively to account for what the unknown is. And on the other side, when things are clear, they understand the costs. When the property feels predictable, they move forward with more confidence. So as a seller, this is something you can actually prepare for. A lot of people wait until the buyer asks these questions, but the sellers who are in a stronger position are the ones who get ready ahead of time. Having basic information available makes a big difference. Things like roof age, any recent updates, wind mitigation reports, even a general idea of current insurance costs. Because when a buyer asks and you have a clear answer, it changes the tone of the conversation and you have leverage. Instead of hesitation, you get confidence. I've seen deals move much more smoothly when this is available. And I've also seen deals slow down when it's not. Because what happens is the buyer starts trying to figure it out on their own. They start calling insurance agents, estimating numbers, guessing. And that process creates friction. Anytime there's friction, there's more room for doubt. So this is one of those areas where a little preparation up front can make a big difference later. And it's also something that not every seller is thinking about yet, which means if you are thinking about it, you're already a step ahead. Because again, this isn't about the home being good or bad. It's about how easy it is for a buyer to understand what they're getting into. And right now in South Florida, insurance is a big part of that understanding. So if you're planning to sell or even just thinking about it, this is something worth looking into early. Because the more clarity you can create, the easier it is for a buyer to say yes. If this is helpful and you want to stay in tune with what's actually influencing buyers right now, make sure you're subscribed and following along. We're breaking these things down every week in a way that actually applies to what you're dealing with.